So, how to use your Instant Pot. First thing, you need a slab of meat. Second thing you need are some extra things. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take that pork loin and we're going to cook it to death. But we're going to add in tomatoes, taco seasoning, and so forth, and then we're going to turn it into basically shredded beef that we can use to put in things like burritos, or tonight's case, rice. So you can mix it in with all that kind of stuff. So extra stuff we're going to need: tomatoes, fresh from the garden and washed. Ta-da! We're going to use them all. Even these little guys that are starting to get a little wrinkly, because, you know, get them while you got them. Now, in order to flavor this and make it taste right, what we're going to use is we're going to use some taco seasoning. Now, we're going to use that taco seasoning. Comes in a nice little container. It's more of a paste than anything else. The only other thing that we will need in addition to that are various flavoring agents and a little water. So let's get started. So here's your Instant Pot. Cord for the Instant Pot. Lid for the Instant Pot. And we're good to go. So we're going to start with cutting up those tomatoes. I'm not going to bother skinning them. I mean, that's just cruel. So we're just going to go ahead and put this over there. We're going to throw that in the floor. Okay, so we're going to unthrow that. We're going to get us a large whacking device. One large whacking device. And we are literally just going to go, cut the ass end off of it. Flip him over. Cut the other ass end off. And slice him up a bit. Throw him in. Precise measurements are not. The key to an Instant Pot is you must have at least 1 cup of liquid in order to make it work. If you have less than that, it won't cook well, and it will give you a burn warning because it has gotten stuck on the bottom. That ain't good either.
Mm-mm.
Now, we'll skip him. He's good. Look how pretty that one is.
Mm-hmm.
Man, straight from the garden. Tastes like sunshine. Cut his nose off. Now, the reason I'm not worrying too much about cutting these up is we're going to pressure cook them, and so basically what we're doing is we're turning them into tomato paste. Sample. No. There we go. Ooh. He got an ugly ass on that.
That's called bottom end rot.
Yep. I had that once.
That's a Cherokee tomato, so it's going to look weird.
So he's going to look odd. So we're going to go ahead and cut his nose off too. We're not getting a lot out of it, but hey, free tomatoes from the garden. So anything is fair game. Toss it in there. Look at that other pretty one. Yeah. Now, in case you're wondering if this knife is sharp, yeah, because look at this slice of those tomatoes without any difficulty at all. Oh, look at that. Nice, clean slices. Sample. All right. Now, your mother told me she washed them. I hope she didn't lie. All right. Ooh, he feels odd. All right, so that's the tomatoes we got. Take a look in there. We got a whole pile of wonderful goodness. So now, we'll take this, peel the top off. Yeah, it looks ugly, but it doesn't taste ugly. Grab a spoon, and we are just going to add it in there. Now, you can use any pork loin for this. You can use flavored, unflavored, whatever. It doesn't matter, but I like the flavored. It gives you just a little bit of extra. And there's $7 at the store. So for $7, we're going to get enough food out of here for at least one meal and probably two. All right, set that down there. Get that off of it. Get more of that off of it. Tastes like chili. Tastes like really strong salty chili. All right. Now, what else do you need to do to it? Well, if you're making anything good, you got to have a little garlic in it. So, we got a little minced garlic. I'm going to tell you that we need to put about a tablespoon and a half, probably, let's just call it a good solid tablespoon. 1 solid tablespoon. You can measure that if you want to, but I can promise you that was right out of tablespoon. All right, so the only other thing we really need, I wouldn't mind adding a little bit of smoked paprika. So, how much? I don't know, about that much. That's about 2 teaspoons. A little bit of onion. Till your hand gets tired. And the secret ingredient, a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning. You're like, that ain't steak? I don't care. Okay, that's all that goes in it. Now, key to this one is you slice him open and let all the juices flow out. So, tear that open.
Whoa.
Fling a little bit at your mother.
Oh,
Keep her on her toes. Alrighty.
quit flinging your meat at me.
I threw some meat at her. Meat juice. At your mother. Okay. Make sure if there's any extra in the bottom of it, you go ahead and get that out. Rinse your hands off. Now, if you look in that pot, it's a little dry. So, we technically need about a couple liquids. So it says 8 to 12 ounces. So that's a 16-ounce glass, not completely full. So, there we go. Now, just because your uncle is cheap doesn't mean that he's not got some taste. So we throw in a little of the magic bread sauce. Clods.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use much of this because, you know, it's powerful. If you were measuring, about 2 tablespoons. Because, yeah. Basically what that is liquid smoked soy, salt, and that's really it. So I'm just using it for the liquid smoke to give it that nice barbecue flavor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we got everything in there. Let's go ahead and put the plug in. That is literally all that you need in there. So, we'll power this bad boy up. Now, the Instapot is a pressure cooker, essentially, but it is a safe pressure cooker that won't blow the hell up and destroy your kitchen. So, you put your lid on, and wait for the magic noise. I'm gonna let you hear that again. Lid off, lid on. So we go to pressure cook. Now, because this one was thawed, we're going to set it for 40 minutes. If it's frozen, take it to 45. Pink. 40. We turn off keep warm. All right. We're going to cancel it because I accidentally hit delay cook. There we go. 40 minutes. If you set it too long, it doesn't hurt anything. Turn that off because that's the keep warm. Now, this version is the max, so it has an automated vent. Yours may not. If yours does not have an automated vent, when it beeps and tells you it's done, you'll manually flip the vent over. I, on the other hand, have the automated vent, so I'm going to set it to go. Then you hit start, and it begins cooking. First thing it does, if you'll notice, tells you what the current temperature is. That temperature will go up to about 240 to 250. Once it does that, the timer will start cooking, and when it's done, it'll beep and tell you. That's it. Once the pressure is off, because once it finishes that cooking, you've got to release the pressure. If you've got the manual pressure release valve, it's back here on the back of it. You flip it to vent, you're done. Take your stuff out, chop it up a little bit to break it up. You can probably just tear it up with a fork and it's perfect. Stir it into the juices that are in there because that's the tomatoes, the onions, you know, all that stuff we put in there. Let that go. You want to drain that juice off after it soaks in it for a few minutes probably. And then you're done. You're ready to eat it. That's all there is to using one, dude.